This edition of the WrestleCast is dedicated to the memory of John Huber, also known as Mr. Brody Lee. This is a presentation of RVT Entertainment.
This isn't about the dead, it's about the living. It's about my mother. It's about my sister. It's about my wife. It's about the 14 years it took me to go from undesirable to un-goddamn deniable.
You know, they say all men are created equal, but you look at me and you look at Small Joe, and you can see that statement is not true.
Because I'm better than you, and you know it.
In the back, there are men and women, seasoned professionals, dues paid in full, gunning to be the best.
I'll always light the way, and all you have to do is let me in.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Hey, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the WrestleCast, presented by RVT Entertainment on Podomatic.com, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else we find this fine audio recording and live on RVT Entertainment's official Twitch.tv channel. We talk about professional wrestling, both in the mainstream and the independent scene. Welcome to the best and worst of 2020. My name's Matty J. That is TWK.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am TWK of TWK Reviews, and welcome to the best and worst of 2020 as we bring in the new year in style.
And as always, our third man, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only man with a straw hat, Shintigercurl.
It's Friday, and you know what that means.
Yep. Yeah. Oh boy. I expected a few things. I expected to watch Dynamite. I expected to watch some wrestling, to catch up on some of the stuff to help me pad out the list. Did not expect to cry on Wednesday at all. And we're going to begin with that before we get to the particulars of this particular program. Before I do, Happy New Year, boys. Happy 2021.
Happy Texas New Year to you, Matty.
Texas New Year?
It's like a regular New Year, but with more beef.
All right, good. Well, my mom wants to jump into keto, and did a keto diet. So hey, more beef, more meat, beef. Cool. I don't think she'll complain.
And more Whataburger.
Eventually. Probably not at the very beginning of this year, but eventually. Anyway, so before we get to the particulars of this usual show, and before we do anything else, I will warn you folks right off the bat, for those who are not fans of long podcasts, I've been getting feedback from people saying, "Oh, your podcast shouldn't be 90 minutes. It should be 10. It should be 60 minutes. It should be 30 minutes." Listen, the show's as long as because we're having fun, and this will not be a good jumping on point. If you hate long podcasts, sorry, this one's the long one. But before we get to the particulars of this particular show, we kind of have to bring up the fact that. we had the weekend off last weekend, and we took Christmas off. We had a good time and all that stuff. And then Boxing Day happened, and it was pretty uneventful, except for the one thing that happened on Saturday night. And there's still a part of me that doesn't believe that this is true. But you hear the things and everything else. You saw at the top of the program, Brody Lee's passing, and holy shit! I don't know what else to say on this one other than wow. That was a shocker. And I'm not even gonna take out the bill to shake and do the bit. No, that's not appropriate. If you guys want to speak your piece on it, that's fair enough. But wow, I don't know that. I'm still speechless over the thing.
Yeah, it's. I only learned about it like an hour after it dropped because I was watching Wonder Woman 84, and I was just scrolling through my timeline after I finished watching the movie because I was about to post like a little review of it, and I saw something that said "Rest in peace to John Huber," and I'm like, "Oh, who the hell's John Huber?" And I looked at the image and like, "Hey, he looks kind of like Brody Lee," and I'm like, "Oh my fucking god, that's Brody Lee!" And
it's crazy. I had literally the same. It was literally the same way for me. It was a case of I was in a chat and we were in the middle. We were about to do. No, we weren't. Were we doing it? That wasn't a Toonami Kill. It was literally a post mortem from another stream that John was doing. That the Shades was doing, and we're chatting it up, and we're having a fun time. We're trying to figure out ways, trying to have ideas, whatever. And I see the tweet, Brody Lee dead. I'm like, no. Someone told me check wrestling. I checked wrestling. No. I checked WrestleZone. No DQ. Jaw floor. Literally.
I guess I was the only one that actually saw the original AEW tweet, like almost the moment they tweeted it out. Just had me scrolling my Twitter timeline at the moment and just saw the tweet just as it went live. I was just like, at first, it just read "Rest in peace, Brody Lee." I'm like, please let this be a storyline. Please let this be a storyline. But then I saw them use the real name in the picture. I'm like, fuck!
And what confirmed it was the wife of John Huber literally saying, okay, this is what happened. They weren't going to disclose the actual ailment that took him down, but it was non-COVID related issues. And a lot of people are saying, well, and people got fired over, debating as, oh, is it that bad? Is it your mark? Blah, blah, blah. It turns out Brody Lee was transferred to the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville. For those who don't know, the Mayo Clinic is where you go when you don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. Like, literally, everyone is baffled.
Yeah.
And he died because of that nondescript lung issue. It was described as double lung failure. Bad.
Yeah.
And I read up upon it was posted I think earlier today, just more details saying apparently he got winded after a bike ride, he couldn't finish it, and he just never recovered from there.
He just thought, okay, it's probably the chain knocking something loose. Oh, I'll be fine in a couple of days. Turns out that was part of the issue. They don't know when it started. They did everything they could, and turns out that wasn't enough, unfortunately. And that's all we know, and that's probably all we will ever know.
Yeah, because from what I've read, Brody was a very private person when it came to this kind of stuff, and as far as this guy, whoever his name is, I don't care, but there's a time and place for speculation, and this is not it.
No.
This was not. If that's what Amanda Huber wanted to relate to us, that's her business. That's her family's business.
Before we continue, Devin, do not post that links without our permission ever again. That's your one warning. He posted he posted a thing about he posted stuff in one of his tweets. I was like, do not do that again. not with our permission. Moving on. Go ahead.
And there's a time that, like, it seemed like he was just trying to start rumors and start a conspiracy. Like,
we're talking about that dude that got fired from Pro Wrestling Torch. Yeah,
like, can't you just can't? This is not the time and place to be talking about conspiracies and rumors and shit. If that's what happened to him, you need to accept that. So, and yeah, he deserved to get fired.
Because he deserved to get fired. Look, I'm not going to speculate on this. And listen, things have happened. Enough things have happened. That's a man, a father, and a husband died. Layoff. And Bruce Mitchell, for his part, he says, "Oh, I mean every word of it. I want to find out. I want more." I was like, dude, you're a journalist. Sometimes you're a journalist? No, you're an asshole. Most journalists wait for a couple of days.
Also, if he was such a respected journalist, his colleagues would have backed him up. But no, they all said, "Get the fuck out."
Yeah, that kind of mud-esque journalism does not belong here, especially now. So yeah, you can get fucked, Mr. Bruce Mitchell. You can get fucked.
Now, on to the good stuff. JC really hope the dog collar match did not contribute to his death. It doesn't seem like that was the case. If it was, we would have seen stuff at the pop. We would have heard some wheezing on air because that thing was live.
Yeah, I saw really nothing to hint that the dog collar match did anything other than him just selling the match really, really well. I didn't really notice anything out of the ordinary.
And hell, he was that last interview he did with Tony Schiavone and Ref Aubrey. I forget her last
Aubrey
name.
Edwards.
Thank you. I keep thinking Aubrey Hebner, but it's Aubrey Edwards.
Girl Hebner.
So that's why
Everybody
I mixed up the two. But there was their unrestricted podcast, and it was talking about, I just did Peloton, I couldn't do a full workout. And they figured, it's probably just, it's probably my body still selling the injuries. Fair enough. But that was the beginning. And he passed, and we're all shocked, and WWE did its regular WWE thing of fucking up, but apparently they made up for it over the week, and I'm not going to shit on them over that. Whatever. And then Wednesday happened, and if you didn't cry, you're not human.
John Silver did it for me. The beginning got the waterworks got me a little misty eyed, but seeing Johnny just break down after that match, I couldn't hold it in. That was it.
2, 3, and he's on the mat crying. Colt Cabana was openly weeping during his entrance. That was like, oh shit, this is serious. Even Colt Cabana can't hold it in. Eddie Kingston couldn't bring himself to say Brody Lee without cracking up. And Eddie Kingston's a bro. So that should tell you how big a deal this was.
And of course, you had Bryce Remsburg in the package.
That's what did it for me. Bryce Remsburg.
One of the most wholesome people in pro wrestling.
And Anna Jay almost lost it in the middle of her match.
Mm-hmm.
And just the wholesomeness of the six-man tag of the good, the bad, and the hungry versus the inner circle. That I have to agree with Brian Alvarez, and that might be the best tribute match of all time.
Yeah, Mike Maverick, Brian Alvarez on Brian and Vinny. Brian and Vinny, they both agree on this. Best tribute match ever. Redbeard Eric Rowan, literally just holding up a sign, goodbye for now, my brother, see you down the road. And the tribute to set to Tom Waits' old 55.
And props to Tony Khan for buying the rights to that for perpetuity, which means that video will exist from now until the end of time.
And Guts Masterson, they brought papers. That was a mark-out moment for that tag match.
And I gotta give it up to MJF for just healing it up, just so we could have that great moment where Brody Jr. just laid him out.
if you need more proof that MJF is a great heel, that right there. That's proof of he is a professional, but at the same time knows what the fuck to do to get A, good heat, and B, good catharsis.
Yep.
Set up, payoff.
That's what being a good heel really is all about. And this really came even more into effect when you listen to Jim Sterling on Straight to Hell. When he talked about being a heel, how his favorite thing was just building up the heat and then giving the audience catharsis at the end of the night.
Mm-hmm. If you check, boys, in the WrestleCast chat, I posted the picture of the ticket stub I have from when Chikara was in town in 2012. Turns out Brody Lee versus Eddie Kingston was Brody Lee's last Brody Lee's last indie dates before going to the to the Fed. And Hairball, don't start with that. We're not going to talk about that tonight.
Yeah, I believe that was Chikara, how you play the game.
How you play the game. I was there with a friend of the show, Nuclear Convoy, and that match has more significance to me now. This stub I have in my hand has way more significance to me now than ever before. I never thought,
I wouldn't have known Brody Lee if you hadn't shown me that match between him and Michael Elgin, because back then I was a really big Michael Elgin mark, and you showed me that match of him, and after that I became a very big Brody Lee mark.
Also, I've seen a lot of people, like within the past week, specifically reference that Chikara show. So congrats, Matt. You're going to be on your face is going to be on a lot of people's laptops.
At least for a couple of weeks, and that was, for a second, I thought during that match with Eddie Kingston in there, I thought he was wearing the same gear that he was at the Chikara show. It turns out it was just the same color. It's just a different. Obviously, the outfit's different. 8 years, what do you know? But yeah, and Mick Foley did catch the beer bug, which sucks. But he's doing what he can. He's at a hotel. He's been quarantining for 18 days as of today.
All I'll say about this is we lost a lot of people this year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in wrestling. We lost. Most of them, I just felt bad for them and their family. I felt bad for Hana Kimura. I felt bad for Shad Gaspar. I felt bad for Animal, but Brody Lee dying just so suddenly like this that broke me. Like I got flashbacks to when Eddie died.
I dare not make that comparison to either the shows of Eddie Guerrero or Owen Hart's passing, but it's up there. I don't think it should be rated, but this was.
I'm not trying to rate them. Just saying that those kind of raw.
The emotional level is on par. That's for sure.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, this is gonna be a similar situation. Brody's passing just is gonna be another scar on professional wrestling that's never gonna heal.
And the worst part is, no drugs, no major league accident, no nothing that proves that was adverse. This is literally a freak accident.
Yep. It's going to leave a scar on professional. It's going to leave a scar on professional wrestling. But the bright spot about this is, hopefully, if I'm still alive in at least 10 more years, and if everyone involved in what I'm about to say is still alive, I hope that I live long enough to see Maxwell Jacob Friedman face off against Brody Lee Jr. in his debut match.
That would be appropriate as hell. That would be awesome. I'd love to be around for that too. I think that goes without saying. All right, now we brought the broom down. I mean, we could go back and forth on this, but we actually have an actual show to talk about, and it's hard to transition, so I'm just going to jump right into it. It's best and worst time. We usually start with the worst and go with the best. Here's how this usually works. We were gonna do our lists starting with the worst as always. It'll be in order of Shin will say his, Tito will say his, and I will say mine, and we will move along as per usual. This is, as always, the list is only as good as what we've watched this year. So obviously I took a hiatus from this show, but I still managed to watch a little bit of professional wrestling, at least enough to compile most of a list. And this will be my list is based on what I've watched. Same thing for Shintigercurl and same thing for TWK. That being said, it's time for the worst, and I did not want to research the clips. I didn't want to go for WWE promos on YouTube. I did not want to do that. One thing I did this summer was listen to once Brian Alvarez brought the Wrestling Observer live to Twitch. Oh, some rant gold. So, ladies and gentlemen, a small portion, but allow Brian Alvarez to get us in the mood. Take a listen.
Dude, this Raw show, everybody, it sucks. It's the worst show. If you don't want to hear this, go do something else. Go find a podcast, if it's out there. I mean, maybe you can listen to Bruce Pritchard's podcast. Maybe there's one podcast out there that's going to tell you that the show was any good. But we're going to tell you the truth here on this show. The show sucked. One of the worst Raws I ever saw.
All right, that was a little shorter than I anticipated, but he went on multiple 10-minute long rants on Raw this year. Part of him was just going after the marks who thought Raw was still good. Those poor bastards. Those poor marks. Oh, before we do anything else, I will say that Brody Lee does figure on my best list somewhere, at least in a couple of spots. He does not figure on this list. Oh, good Lord. Gentlemen, you know what, Shin? This is your first show as a permanent fixture of this show, so pick a category. Let's get it going.
Yeah, we can just start from the bottom and work our way to the top.
Fair enough. We begin with most overrated in the other categories. So, Shin, kick us off.
I had a really hard choice with this one because, one, I didn't watch a lot of WWE, and it wasn't anyone I particularly thought was overrated. That might change, but the one I had to pick had to go with the most obvious, Dominic Mysterio. He's got a little talent, but they pushed him way too hard, way too fast, and everyone's a bit too high on him. Give him another year of seasoning and having him some good, decent feuds instead of ones involving his family and Seth Rollins, and it might change my mind. But until then, he's just right. He's just another legacy wrestler, and you know how I feel about legacy wrestlers because you either get beyond your famous family or you let it consume you. You can either become
become Randy Orton or become David Flair. There is no middle ground.
You can either become a Cody Rhodes or you can become a Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Or
I lost a few frames there, but we heard everything. That's awesome.
You can either become Randy Orton or you can become Manu.
See, I prefer David Flair because David Flair was significantly worse than Manu.
At least David Flair had the best Titantron in professional wrestling history.
Oh, there's that. There is that at least.
What's overrated for me is Goldberg.
Yeah, head up his own ass, Goldberg too. That's 2 out of 3. But Dominic Mysterio wasn't too far behind. If he didn't have the matches he had decent matches in there. If he had bad matches, he'd be in there. I think that's what saves it. Goldberg just had 2 shit shows for matches, and the only good thing was Braun Strowman became world champion out of it, and that's just about it.
And you only became world champion because Roman Reigns said, "Nah, fuck this, I'm out."
Yeah. And he was right to do so, by the way. Just saying.
He's like, I got a family. Fuck this. I'm out. I don't need this. I don't need this shit. Fuck you. I'm out.
The pleasures of fuck you money.
Don't we all wish we had that?
Oh, good Lord, yeah. Good Lord, yeah. They fucked up on blank, Shin.
It's a tie, ladies and gentlemen. The first one was the Fiend. He tried to recover after that atrocious ending to that Hell in a Cell match from 2019.
Hey, he stuck the landing at least.
They came back. They actually gave him the Universal title, and then they had him job out to fucking Goldberg, and he really, really didn't recover after that. Like, after that, I didn't care about him anymore. Like, you take all those finishers, you can no-sell pretty much anybody, but then you lose to a guy who's over the hill and who botched, and you lost to a botched finisher. Okay, sure, he got a title back, but it really wasn't much of a reign. This was not a good year for the Fiend.
No. Which is unfortunate.
Yep. And the other one was sadly Rhea Ripley. All the potential. She came off beating one of the most dominant women in NXT history, only to job out to fucking Charlotte Flair.
What a year she could have had if there was the crowd and we didn't have to suffer the Omni Flare.
Like, if Io Shirai hadn't won the NXT Women's title when she did, I firmly believe Rhea Ripley would have been the standard bearer for the women's division this entire year. But nope. Had to feed the robot. Had to feed her more D-Cell Duracell batteries. Give her another title reign. She didn't win. And in the end, it did nothing for the women's division as a whole.
And Hairball said it best, and it hurts because he is my hometown boy. Speaking of the Fiend, obviously. And Rhea Ripley just, yeah. Go ahead, D-Dub.
For me, it's simply money in the bank. They had all the opportunity in the world to do something unique with it. Giving it to Otis means, hey, maybe we can put an underdog as world champion. How exciting would that have been? Nope. Give it to The Miz. All right, maybe he can have his comeback to the main event scene we've all been waiting for. Nope. And now they just decided to give it right back to him after failing to cash in. So what the fuck?
I saw that on like a fucking course because they brought themselves into a corner again, and they realized, oh shit, we still need someone with the briefcase. Oh fuck, this is WWE in general, and guess what, boys? That's what I have written down in general, because it's not just Rhea Ripley, it's not just the Fiend, it's not just Money in the Bank, it's everything this year. The crazy part is, they started off fine. Royal Rumble, the build up to Mania until like 2 weeks before WrestleMania, and then the pandemic hit, and it all went downhill. Firing and throwing a lot of people because they felt like they needed the money. They really didn't. They fired Mike Chioda. They really didn't have to fire him. They fucked up Rhea Ripley. Charlotte should have done the honors, for God's sake. She's bulletproof at this point. And that's just her previously installed wabos before the pandemic hit, ironically. This was bullshit for WWE. Plain and simple. They fucked up in general. Period. It's not just the one thing, it's everything. It's every fucking thing. Good Lord. All right, next, we're going to go right to the top here. We may as well continue with Wrestling Show of the Year, worst edition. Jesus, do I sense a sweep here?
Probably no. I really wanted to say Raw, but considering that Raw has been consistently shitty this entire year, it's just been one flat curve of shit-tacular storytelling for their flagship show. But I can't believe I'm saying this. If you told me I would be putting this as my worst wrestling show of last year, you probably think I was on crack. But My worst wrestling show, NXT.
Whoa!
It has been a steady but noticeable decline for NXT for the entire year. It started in 2019, but it just got worse this entire year to the point where I don't care about NXT. I can hate Raw. If you love something or hate something, that's one thing. But having apathy for something, that's probably worse than hating something, because I hate Raw because I know what Raw can be. Right now, I don't care about NXT. I don't care what matches they're putting on. I don't care what storylines are going on. I don't care who's champion or how well they're doing. I just don't care. And I should not have to say that about NXT of all things. So I'm sorry, Trips. I'm sorry, Papa Trips, but your show is a shadow of what it once was. It doesn't suck. I just don't care.
Vince McMahon ruined it the minute he put it on USA, and it's not a Triple H decision. It's a Vince McMahon decision. Do not kid yourselves.
Yep, I know it's Triple H. I know it's Vince's fault. I'm just saying I'm sorry, Triple H, because I know how much blood, sweat, and tears he's put into that product for the last 4+ years, and to see it just decline like this, it must be breaking his heart. And not to mention the fact that
never mind Triple H. The crew over there, they still have that roster is still one of the best rosters ever put together for a particular brand.
Yeah, but the booking, the reactionary booking to everything AEW has been doing this year has not been helping them. And make it matter is even worse. You don't feel like you used to be excited when someone was doing well in NXT. Like, I can't wait to see what they're going to do on the main roster. But now it's like, why go to the main roster? They're just going to ruin you. Why go? So
guilt by association. I've been seeing that since last year.
Yep. So I'm sorry, guys. NXT.
No, don't blame you there, T-Dub.
I'm going to be predictable and go with Monday Night Raw.
See, I can't blame Shintigercurl for putting NXT. That's been on a steady decline, and the fact that people choose TNT over USA on Wednesdays, that's a damning statement. But no, I have to pick Monday Night Raw. 3 hours is way too fucking long. Some of the shit that they've put together on that show it's just horrendous. It's just it's frustrating, is what it is. Just flat out fucking frustrating. That's all it is at this point. It's just frustration. And yeah, it's still a baseline, but with all the declining from NXT is still above water as far as wrestling shows are concerned. And Raw is literally underground, like Raw Underground was this year. TV announcer, boys, this was tough.
I'd say pretty much. I just want to go with just main roster commentary in general. Mm-hmm. Just no specific one. Just I'm sick of the shilling. I'm sick of just this constant pandering to the audience. I'm just sick of it. I'm well and truly done with dealing with the main roster bullshit. I mean, NXT still has a pretty great commentary team.
Oh, absolutely.
So still have that.
Especially, I think Wade Barrett is adjusting pretty well.
Yeah, I like Wade Barrett on com. Does very well. He's just a breath of fresh air. I mean, he's no replacement for Morrow. Nobody is, but he's fitting in. But I'm just done with WWE's commentary, if you can even call it that.
A Shin, look in the ring. They're so cool, you guys. They're so cool. The action in the ring from the superstars of WWE. Sports entertaining. It's so cool.
Oh, I sense a lot of sarcasm right now.
My picks, this is tied between Michael Cole, the most pandering of announcers of all time, and horny Jim Ross.
Horny Jim Ross.
Horny Jim Ross. You know, in fairness to Jim, he is still a widow. He is technically single. But yeah, Old Man Ross is bad. I'm not gonna lie.
You don't need to hear your horniness on commentary. Keep it on Twitter, you creepy bastard.
No, well, yeah, Jim Ross is. I thought I was going to be controversial with this. I honestly was. It felt painful to put him on as worst TV announcer. But here's the thing: Tony Schiavone's got energy. Excalibur is pretty much exploding with energy. Jim Ross, at first last year, he had tons of energy. Where is it? I know it's a pandemic, but where's the passion? Where's the energy here? I mean, yes, he's got experience and the storytelling is still there, but where is it on a week-to-week basis?
I almost put him on the list, but Jim is very up and down with me. Like, sometimes he's on his game, and when he's on his game, he is really on his game.
Absolutely.
Sometimes, so I can't really put him on there, but considering that Cole and pretty much anyone associated with Cole are just consistently bad.
See, we will disagree on this when we get to the best, but I will say this. Ross has been more down than up this year. He's got some up moments. Revolution, and then Full Gear, obviously. And, of course, the matches he called for Winter is Coming are highlights for sure. But he's been more down than up, and he's made more mistakes than he's usually allowed himself to make. Not good. Just flat out not good. Hey, I've no doubt he'll be better this year in 2021 for sure. This year it was rough. There were some rough patches here, just some rough patches. We got to call a spade here. All right, feud of the year, boys.
This is a tie for me. First, it's the Viking Raiders versus the Street Profits.
Mm-hmm.
You took two of NXT's greatest tag teams and you put them in some stupid-ass vignettes, making them argue over some stupid-ass shit, and you don't even give them a good blow-off match or anything. It's an insult to both teams, really. And now we'll probably never get that because one of the Viking Raiders is out, not sure how long, and the Street Profits are doing whatever the hell they're doing.
The promos are still good at the very least. I think that's what's keeping them afloat right now. It's just the promos.
I think what they're doing is they're enjoying some nice and delicious Tyson catering.
Tyson, good old Tyson catering. Heard he makes some great potatoes. And the second one is Jeff Hardy versus Elias.
Ooh, yeah.
For the simple fact is that Elias believed that Jeff Hardy ran him over, even though they had photographic and video evidence of someone else confessing to the crime. And he's like, no, Jeff Hardy ran me over. I'm certain of it. But we got Sheamus admitting it. No, that's just Jeff Hardy with white face paint. No, it's Jeff Hardy.
For me, it's Lana versus Nia Jax. There's a feud that took up weeks and weeks of television, with the only resolution being a fluke victory.
And not only a fluke victory, the payoff before Charlotte came back was supposed to be what? Lana wins the tag team titles? Guess what? She got subbed out due to quote unquote injuries, and then and then out comes the Omni Flare. What?
I am Charlotte Flair. I have won all the titles. Please input into my programming.
For me, obviously, Nia versus Lana figures into a different category for me. But for feud, Rollins versus the Mysterios. Way too long. Period. Just way too fucking long. Oh, an eye for eye match definitely just fucking figures in there too. Just way too fucking long. Promotion of the year, boys.
Somebody want to get the broom? You want to get the broom?
Let's confirm things first.
Yeah, it is without a question WWE. They have failed on so many levels this year. Aside from firing people that didn't need to be fired, aside from the shitty product, the bad booking, all the titles meaning less than worthless these days, that COVID outbreak, just this is the dark age of the WWE right now. This is the dark age. It has never been this bad, and hopefully it doesn't get any worse. But knowing no Plan McMahon, it probably will.
T-Dub, let's confirm it first. Let's just confirm it.
Our worst promotion of the year is not WWE.
T-Dub, Devin the Great did the joke in the chat.
God damn it!
Yeah. He said AEW, and he goes, I'm kidding, it's WWE.
Stole my thunder!
Yeah, he did. He totally did.
Devin! Shaking fist. You can't see it, but I'm shaking my fist.
Arrgh.
Battle man!
Arrgh.
Yep, we got a sweep. Sweep.
It's a
WWE,
sweep.
yeah.
It's a sweep. We could joke around, but
Grab the broom.
get the broom, my God. Wow.
I wish we had
I
Shin's gif right here that he uses for his sweep.
Maybe we should get a cleaner involved. A collector of belts, maybe? No, that'll never happen. Vince is too fucking petty. Title reign. This was one of the difficult ones for me, actually, in the worst department. I don't know about you guys.
This was no issue with me, and he is going to be showing up a lot on this list. William P. Goldberg. He buried one of the best characters in the entire company, all because he thinks people think
because he wanted to be the superhero for his kid.
Bill,
the problem was he already fucking had that.
You're not a superhero. You're nowhere close to a superhero. You're just an old man who just can't get out of the spotlight and who just can't give back. You look at Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is about the same age bracket as you, and he's been giving
Jericho.
back.
Look at Tully Blanchard, Arn Anderson, Dustin Rhodes, Brody Lee was doing this.
Yep. And your title reign wasn't long, and who did you drop it to? Braun freaking Strowman, and it did really nothing for him. So yeah, enjoy that spot, Goldberg. This won't be the last time.
For my title reign, it's the worst because it was the most forgettable. It was a SmackDown Tag Team title reign of Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh yeah. That's bad. Yeah.
I forgot.
They made a Nakamura title reign forgettable. Again.
That's a crime against humanity. That's what that is.
I can't believe I forgot that Cesaro and Shinsuke were tag champs. Jesus.
I know, right? No, I'm in agreement. Goldberg did nothing, buried everybody, and Braun Strowman wound up picking up the belt, and he didn't do much with it either. But Oldberg for sure. Oldberg for sure. All right, comeback of the year. Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, it's back to back with this one.
Ooh.
Yes. William Jacob Persephone Goldberg.
Persephone.
No one wanted you back. No one asked for you back. And you did nothing when you came back. Enjoy that, Goldberg. You're still on this list again.
Oldberg. For those keeping score, on Shin's list, it's Oldberg 3. Or actually, it's us 3, Oldberg 0, but he's bad. Go ahead, Dean. I'm sorry.
Speaking of people that nobody seemed to want back, Jackson Riker!
Wow. Wait, he came back?
Yeah, he's back.
Elias is heavy.
Oh, that's right. That's Jackson Riker? Shit.
Yeah, a.k.a. the former Gunner, a.k.a. the guy who is mediocre at best at wrestling and subpar at everything else.
Damn.
There's a reason why he barely ever wrestled in NXT. Anytime he did, it was in squash matches.
Damn. Yeah, Goldberg. Useless, did nothing. Yep. Worst pay-per-view, gentlemen.
Super Showdown.
That's what I put in Saudi Arabia WWE show, but Super Showdown for sure. T-Dub.
Yep.
For me, it's the horror show at Extreme Rules.
Ooh.
Let me the matches that were featured here. This was featured Cesaro and Shinsuke winning the SmackDown tag titles from the New Day. This featured Bayley defeating Nikki Cross, I think for the millionth time. It featured Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio in the worst match of the year for some people. It featured Asuka defeating Sasha Banks in like one of their 1 million matches. It featured Drew McIntyre versus Dolph Ziggler in a special 4-con conclusion match. And of course, the main event, the Wyatt Swamp fight between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman.
Super Showdown for me as well, but it's the Saudi Arabia shows for sure. Though I don't blame you for Extreme Rules. I just remembered that was a shit show and a half. All right, worst angle or storyline, and no, the reason I put angle or storyline is because every time I just put angle, T-Dub would put in one of the angles.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know it's a running gag, but worst angle or storyline. Go ahead, Shin.
Easily, the Mysterios versus Seth Rollins. Like Matty said before, it went on too long, and it was too messy. Between everything that was going on, between Dominic coming in, between Ray, quote unquote, losing his eye, between this whole romance between Ray's daughter and good old Buddy. It just dragged way too long. It started out good, but then it just went.
For me, it's Retribution.
Just in general?
Yep. Just the whole storyline with them. Just, hey, we threw a cinderblock through a door. Hooray, aren't we amazing? Hey, we fucking threw torches at a generator. Yay, aren't we amazing? Aren't we causing chaos? Hey, look at us. We're running with chainsaws everywhere. Hooray. And hey, look at us. We're losing matches left, right, and center. Look how intimidating we are losing all the time.
And to make matters worse, this makes WWE look like complete idiots. They gave these guys contracts. These guys who said they wanted to take down the WWE, and the WWE is paying them to take them down. That's like a recovering alcoholic figuring out the best way to go to get over being an alcoholic is diving into a vat of Coors Light.
Quite the image.
That is. Could be worse, though. It could be a vat of Bud Light. Ugh.
That's a fate worse than death.
Look, I will drink Bud Light if that's the only thing that's available. It's not the worst thing in the world, but if I have a choice between any other beer and that, I'm going with any other goddamn beer. Moving on. I believe TW passed your turn, correct?
Yes, I chose Retribution, which means it is now your turn, Mr. J.
Three-way tie for me. Retribution does come into context for that particular reason. Nia Jax versus Lana is in there because tables. Because Vince petty. That doesn't like the fact that Rusev, that now Miro is actually having a career outside of WWE. Fucking Vinny. And
I mean about me on a television show. Punish his wife, goddammit.
10 times for tables, dagnabbit. And of course, the other one, the Matt Hardy concussion thing. I don't know if, obviously it was not an angle, but it turned into an angle, and it should have stopped at that feud. It should have stopped right then and there, and then they continued with the elite deletion, which any other year it would have been fine. This year, one of those, no. And I'm saying that out of a broken universe match, for God's sakes. And it was fun. Had a Gangrel in there, but no, not worth the pain. Worst promo of the year. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
Took me a while, but there was only one promo that I particularly did not like, and that was from one Jade in AEW. That I did not care for that promo at all, and the only thing that saved her was Brandy Rhodes coming out and unleashing her ghetto side upon Jade. And as of yet, I have not heard anything out of her mouth that I particularly find particularly good or interesting or makes me think that she's going to be the next big thing. I haven't even seen her wrestle, so I don't even know how good or bad she's in the ring. But that first promo she cut, yeah, you need to take more promo classes, dear. It was not good.
You're in the right promotion because you got a room full of professional stickmen in there, but that was bad. That was awkward as hell.
Yeah, you need to find Eddie Kingston and have him sit you down in a room for 30 minutes. Have him teach you how to cut a fucking promo, dear.
Like, Eddie Kingston cut a promo on a fucking deodorant stick.
On a cookie.
On a bag of Sour Patch Kids.
You get away from
for me, my worst promo is any Retribution promo where they just spatted nonsense into the camera and expected somebody to make sense out of it.
Just like Ultimate Warrior, but the fact is Ultimate Warrior could kick an ass or two.
Yeah, except, once, Retribution's done talking nonsense, they go out there and they lose. And they lose.
Yeah.
Unless it's against Ricochet, then they win.
Jesus, what the fuck is wrong with Ricochet, Vinny? Anyway, for me, I gotta agree with Jade Cargill's promo. It's like, beautiful body. I trust she can wrestle, but that debut promo did more damage to her in one night than it could have done with one bad match. That was rough. And to plug Shaq, who, shock of shocks, hasn't shown up yet.
Well, technically he did.
Yeah, in a thing, and now that feud's done because Brandy's pregnant. Good for her, but now Jade's like, oh, congratulations, bitch, you're ramped because you got bun in an oven. Whatever. No, the storyline should have been dropped right there. No promo, no nothing. Moving on. That being said, oh boy, I sense a sweep of sorts for this one. Match of the year.
I was tempted to put the Firefly Funhouse on this match, but then I had to remind myself that the Firefly Funhouse match wasn't a match. It was just a segment. It wasn't even a cinematic match. It was just a segment. It was all right for what it was, but this was a tie for me. One, because of one man's greed and ego, and the other because... well, not because of the two men involved. They were just put into a position that they could not win. First, Goldberg versus The Fiend, for reasons that we all know and we have already expounded upon. It was not necessary. It was just Goldberg being Goldberg and burying an up-and-coming talent just to feed his own fucking ego.
This was Goldberg pulling his creative control quad.
Yep. The second one, I can't believe I'm saying this, Edge versus Randy Orton 2, a.k.a. the greatest match ever.
Ow!
The greatest wrestling match ever, which is only their second best wrestling match of the year, according to WWE.
It's just...
that should explain a lot right there, actually.
It could have been it is a great match, but the problem is that they labeled it the greatest wrestling match ever, and it had to live up to that hype, or else it would have failed as a match, and it did. Because you're saying that this match is going to be better or greater than Steamboat Savage at WrestleMania 3. You're saying this match is going to be better than Owen versus Brett at WrestleMania 10. You're saying this match is going to be better than Austin versus Brett submission match at WrestleMania 13. You're saying this is going to be better than Michaels Taker WrestleMania 25. They were putting all that on these two. One of which who just came back from nearly a decade in retirement, and the other whose career is winding down as we speak. They put too much pressure on them. They tried, but it couldn't match up to what they were trying to do. I'm not saying the match was shitty, but simply because they labeled it as the greatest match ever, it's automatically going to fail because it can't meet that standard. And it's not Randy and Edge's fault. It's WWE's fault for putting them in that position. So this is not a knock against Edge and Randy. I love both of them to death. This is a knock against WWE for putting them in a no-win scenario. Those are my picks.
I also have 2 picks as well. One of them is Goldberg versus The Fiend. Another one is Eye for an Eye, Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins.
Ew.
Yeah. For me, well, it's a sweep on the Goldberg versus The Fiend situation, because that's definitely up there. I'm putting Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara from, I believe it was All Out, where they had the bad ladder spot.
Oh. Oof.
That match should have stopped right at that spot when Matt Hardy could not respond. Right there.
And
Stop
props
it.
Aubrey Edwards. He's trying to stop the match.
And the doc said no, he's good. No, he was listening to Matt Hardy, not to his doctor's voice going, he's out. Match should have ended right there. That should be standard protocol. If there's a concussion or even the doubt of a concussion, ding ding, match is dead. And that does more damage to wrestling than anything else, if you ask me. All right, worst heel.
I really don't have a heel for this one. I couldn't really pick a heel this year that was just terrible. So I'll just leave it up to you guys.
I went with Braun!
That was, for me, that was more of a out of process of elimination, but Braun Strowman, yeah. Out of all the heel, most heels, they do something that's memorable, that makes you want to buy money to buy a ticket or buy a pay-per-view or buy a network subscription to see their ass getting kicked. Braun was just there. Just there. He was just Braun. And then any other year it'd be like, okay, cool, but this year, not so much. Just not so much. All right, worst babyface of the year.
Ironically,
That was my review.
yeah.
Well, I have a three-way tie, but Braun is in there too.
Yep. Sweep. Another sweep. Another sweep.
We got a sweep, technical, but yeah.
Yeah, Braun he was again just there. But guys, I got some special information about Braun Strowman that nobody knows. This is breaking news that I got directly from none other than from Papa Dave himself, Dave Meltzer.
Oh.
So I can confirm this. Did you know that Braun Strowman can run fast?
No. Really?
Heard it here first on the WrestleCast, ladies and gentlemen.
T-Dub, can you top this?
No, like I already said, my worst face was Braun Strowman.
All right, so it's a sweep there. Randy Orton and or The Fiend. It was during their feud, their current ongoing feud. Randy Orton's got a thing against The Fiend, and it's so fucking weird. Like, The Fiend is supposed to be a heel, but he's acting like a face. Randy Orton's acting like a face, but he's supposed to be a heel. He's burning people the fuck alive. We don't know what the fuck is going on, and that's just the worst thing for me. It's like, who's who in this shit? Oh yeah,
Taboo.
Just yeah, you're scaring me with Randy Orton about to burn a woman on national television and then cutting off like you're Brian Pillman with a gun. Yeah, crank it. Manager or non-wrestling talent?
I was going to leave this blank up until a few days ago, and I really hate doing this because I like this guy, and he's from my hometown. I'm giving it to Booker T.
Ooh, okay. Explain yourself.
He's been doing a lot of hot takes, and recently, in a recent interview, thank you, WrestleMania, for breaking this, he had the nerve to actually criticize Sting for not just his debut in AEW, but for him for criticizing him for not coming to the WWF when WCW got bought out over nearly 20 years ago. He basically said that when he asked Sting when Sting was asked if he was going to come to WWF, he simply said that he didn't want to because he didn't like the way that Vince was treating the ex-WCW guys. And Booker T said that wasn't a good decision because he could have been making some money.
Except, as Sting pointed out multiple times, and as we saw once Sting did come to WWE, he just became an ex-WCW guy.
Which is which was his biggest fucking fear.
Yep. And if he didn't go to if he didn't go to WWE, he didn't go to the E when everybody else did, we wouldn't have had him in TNA and having one of the best runs of his career. Need I remind everyone of the light that is Joker Sting.
Yeah.
And also, during that time is when he had some of his best promo work.
Yeah, Main Event Mafia, still one of my all-time favorite groups, my all-time favorite heel factions, and it was led by Sting, and I fucking love it. I'm glad Sting, as much as I would have loved to see Sting face off against Taker in his prime, he was doing great in TNA, and it just feels like Booker is a WWE shill now at this point. It doesn't feel like he's being himself. He's just doing things to make the company happy. And
all right, who's paying my paychecks? It's Vince. All right, Vince McMahon in the WWE is the best of all time, suckers.
Shuggy quack quack.
Yeah, that's right. Sting not going to WWE is not my shuggy quack quack moment of the night.
But just let you know that everybody is in my Fave 5. Even though my Fave 5 have 2,715 people in it. They're all my Fave 5.
My worst manager / non-wrestling talent of the year goes to No Plan McMahon, Vinny Jr.
Yup. He made one appearance, so it counts, because he introduced the Thunderdome. And that's why he's on my list too. And we've explained it already, so we will move right the fuck on to Rookie of the Year. Worst Rookie of the Year.
I didn't have one, but then I remembered that Leon Ruff was a thing, so I'm going to have to give it to Leon Ruff simply because they gave him one of the most prestigious and honored titles with a great lineage of fighting champions, and they did so as a joke.
That's exactly why he's on my list as well. God damn. He's made my worst Rookie of the Year as well for that exact reason. They brought him in, they treated him as a joke, they gave him a title as a joke, and they had him lose it as a jokester as he is.
There's nothing wrong with being a comedic wrestler, but as long as it's funny. There's nothing. We got plenty of comedic wrestlers. You got R-Truth, you got Colt Cabana, you got Orange Cassidy,
Toru Yano.
Yeah.
Toru Yano, the sublime master thief himself, but you don't do that with a title. You don't do that, especially with one like the North American title. You went from this entire year. You went from having a lineage of having it from Roddy Strong to Keith Lee to Punishment Martinez, and now to Leon Ruff. Goddamn NXT! What's the fuck?
Starting to think you're not that crazy to put NXT on your worst TV show list, T-Dub.
As I said, Leon Ruff for all those reasons. They brought him in, and the thing is, they could have easily elevated him by having him actually win that triple threat match and show that, hey, this guy's supposed to be taken seriously because he can actually fucking win matches on his own. But no, he lost because he's a dork.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in there. I left it blank, so I'm like, I was having a hard time, but then you guys reminded me of Leon Ruff. Yeah.
So this is a sweep. So we need to get the broom back. Got another sweep over here. Sweep this
Yeah,
up.
we gotta. Yeah, keep the broom, Sandy, because we might need it for this next one. Faction of the Year. Do I hear a retribution on the Shintigercurl set?
Mom, no, keep the broom. In fact, get the vacuum cleaner. Get the vacuum cleaner. No, not the little one, the industrial strength one. But the big one.
Get the Hoover.
Yeah,
Get the Hoover.
this is a big mess right here. But yeah, retribution. It never had a chance. It never had a chance. I can't believe I'm saying that because I love Big Double D. one of the best. God damn it! Now I'm reminded of Keith Lee. You take two of the best big men and you fucking fuck them up, and oh god.
Shin, this is why I put WWE in general when they said they fucked up on blank, because the list is too fucking long. It's just too fucking long.
Retribution as well for me.
Sweep it is. Retribution. Oh, such potential. They want to cause anarchy and fuck the system, and then the system signs them. Fucking what? Dead on arrival. Right.
What they could have done is
there.
have a storyline where Retribution forces WWE to sign them. Like, hey, we just kidnapped one of your executives. Give us a contract or we'll fucking break their neck or something. Something!
Anything! Tag team of the year, boys. Oh.
Shin?
Shin. Did we lose Shin?
He's still in the call. Shin!
Hello.
Oh, there we go.
Go.
WWE, the entirety of all the tag teams in WWE, including NXT. This just shows what the Young Bucks have been saying. WWE does not care about tag teams anymore, and it's completely obvious up and down the line. They got great tag teams, but they don't have enough tag teams to justify the divisions. And even it extends to NXT. NXT used to have a great tag team division. Now they barely have one. I mean, I'm glad that the Hurt Business have the tag team titles. Big question is, who the fuck are they gonna fight to defend them? Who?
Hardy Bros, dude.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yeah.
Dude, bro. Puns?
Dude bros.
For me, it's any thrown together tag team in WWE, all of them, because for every one that works, there's about 100 that don't and just feel thrown together for the sake of getting two singles guys on television.
Me, it's pretty simple. Heavy machinery. Ah! They could have done something with them. They could have been tag team champions, but no. Breakup because Tucky was like, I don't know what the fuck his reason is. Other than insert standard heel promo here, and guess what? He hasn't been around since the goddamn breakup.
The reason was, you got more famous than me, and people forgot about me. So now I'm here to remind them about Tucker, because I'm the real person behind the scenes. Blah blah blah, and then
I'm resisting. I don't have the buns up tonight because obviously I have so many things I have to keep an eye on. But yeah, bum bum bum. You just forgotten a week after just the look. So yeah. On the microphone.
We're going to have a repeat performance here, gentlemen, because Jade makes the list again.
Oh.
Again. I don't know what's in the ring. I'm just saying, you got Moxley, you got Kingston, you got Cody, you got Jericho, all on the same brand. You need to
Britt has been pretty good on the mic.
Yeah, Britt has been great on the mic, so in the ring, but they need to sit you down, hun, and teach you how to cut a goddamn promo, because you're not good.
Big Swole's pretty charismatic as well.
Who?
Big Swole.
Oh, yeah, Big Swole is awesome.
Big Swole's cut better promos. Also. Can't take at NGXB on TikTok. Just you. Yeah, go ahead, T-Dub.
Pretty worse than like is Nia Jax. She still hasn't gone all that great.
It's a tie, but Jade gets a sweep. Jade and Nia Jax. Just both. That's all I'm going to say there. Gimmick. Ooh, this was a tough one for me, actually.
Retribution. Yeah, you look like bad extras from Mad Max Fury Road. I mean, just what are they doing to you, Dominic? What are they doing to you? God damn it! I'm not even that big a fan of Dio Madden, and I feel bad for him. Just Retribution. State of your gimmick, mate.
There it is.
For me, it's One-Eyed Ray.
Yeah.
What the fuck was even the point of that? He wore like a fucking patch over a part of his mask for like a month, and then just took it off, and his eye is just magically fine now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Retribution. It was Retribution. I was trying to stay off, but no, couldn't. Could not bring myself to do it. Oh, here we go. Last two. This one, I don't know. I don't know. Worst female wrestler.
I was tempted to give this to Charlotte Flair, the android, but considering that she's been in sleep mode for like the last 6 months, I couldn't in good conscience give it to her. But I gave it to someone who last year I said I expected better things from her, or else she'd be making my worst female this year. Unfortunately, she's making my worst female this year, Nia Jax. She has not gotten better on the mic. Her gimmick still sucks. And God, please, Vince, why don't you send her back to the training center to get some training? Because she needs it. She is still hurting people in the ring. She needs to be reined in somewhat, because that woman doesn't know how strong she is, and yes, she's gonna severely hurt somebody one of these days, and it's gonna be all on her. It's gonna be on her for not wanting to learn, and WWE for not giving her the chance to learn how to not hurt someone legitimately.
And once again, I echo Shintigercurl's sentiments exactly. Nia Jax.
I was not sure of this, but gentlemen, 'tis a sweep. Sweep.
Mom,
she hurts Nia. Kairi Sane in one of her last matches with the company. Her gimmick now is literally she hurts people. Literally, they're using her shoot propensity to hurt people by accident, admittedly, but still they should be avoided. And why? Yeah, and you're pairing her up with one of the better wrestlers on the roster because reasons? No. It's Nia Jax. It's Nia fucking Jax. It's Nia Jax. It's a sweep. Worst male wrestler of the year. I am not expecting a sweep out of this. There's a crop of people in there that could have earned it.
There's a lot of people who could have earned it this year, but for me, it's the one who did the most damage in the few times he was in the ring. William, Karen, Alicia, Stephanie Goldberg II. In one match, he did more damage than any other wrestler has done this year with his actions. It just sent the wrong message that it doesn't matter how over you are or how much thought and creativity you put into your character and your gimmick. If some old fuck wrestler who has barely stepped foot in the ring, whose last matches were absolute crap storms, who's one of his last matches before this match was against a freaking legend like The Undertaker, and it nearly ended with both of them nearly getting crippled and killed in the middle of the ring, and he botches the finisher of burying one of your hottest acts. That's sending the wrong message. That's just saying we don't care about the future. We'll sacrifice the future for money. And Goldberg sacrificed the future not just for money, but for his own stupidly small and fragile ego. So, Bill Goldberg, this shit's for you. And I'm gonna take an extra big dookie on you when I go to the bathroom later tonight.
So you're essentially going to take a Bill Goldberg later.
That's what I'm going to call it from now on. I'm going to take a Bill Goldberg It's gonna
That's
be
one
a
of my favorite
big-
running gags. If I have to get up in between or something, I gotta take a blank. Excuse me, boys. I gotta take a name something you think is shit here. So in this case, all I gotta be right back. I gotta take a Goldberg.
And hopefully, like Goldberg, it'll be a quick mess.
All right, for me, it's somebody who you probably forgot they even came on TV. They're the most forgettable wrestler to ever be on television. It is Lars Sullivan.
Ooh, he came back for a cup of coffee, didn't he?
And he was gone.
And he was gone.
And he was gone.
It's like, oh, we don't need you anymore. We have Roman.
Sure. And in fairness, he does pop up on the best list, does Roman Reigns. No, you know what? This one, I kept it to the easiest one because Lars Sullivan can wrestle-ish. So can Goldberg, but then again, I don't blame you for picking Goldberg. No, there is one worst, and it's just simply by name. Slap Jack. What the fuck?
Hey, Slapdick can wrestle.
Oh, I know. But the minute he put on that mask, called himself Slapjack, is the minute he died in my eyes.
You put respect on the name of Slapdick.
Hey, if you don't do that, then Slapnuts is gonna come to your house and make you choke on.
You stole my bit. I was gonna call him Slapnuts.
I'll choke on that, Slapnuts.
Damn it. Oh yeah,
Chosen one. Wow!
Bow, bow, bow. Oh, good lord. Now I want to do it now. I want to get it now. Damn it. Gotta look for it now. Just because I can, and I will. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? But yeah, slap dick, slap jack, slap nuts, slap squash. Sorry, folks. It's bad. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to hit the slap. There we go. There we go. May as well get to it. We're done with the worst. We're going to take a few minutes, stretch our legs. Instead of 30 seconds, we'll give you 60 seconds to get up and stretch. When we come back, the best of 2020. This is going to be a thing. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
And now a word from our sponsors.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Southpaw fans, a limited amount of Southpaw stars will be appearing at KFC to get their hands on the new Woo Crispy, Woo Tangy, Woo Honey Mustard barbecue flavor of Georgia Gold chicken, Woo, for our Eat with the Wrestlers event. Come down and tell them the Nature Boy sent you.
This is WMOB Mobile, 12 on your channel dial and 12 in the TV ratings. a crazy ass ride I've been on for 16 years. But recently, now, finally, the whole world makes sense to me. How did I get here? How have I been AEW World Champion for so long? The answer is my dad. 6'3", 250-pound, brick shit house. Box your ear if you got out of line. Scary. One day he's in town, he picks me up from the police station, but doesn't hit me. He looks at me, and he says something I'll never forget. He says, son, we're the good guys. No matter what happens, no matter what's going on around you, just remember, we're the good guys. They've tried to lie, cheat, and steal this championship away from me. I've been jumped, beat up, I've fought monsters, technicians, my own friends. But I always know what to do. I always have. We're the good guys. And now the whole world is bearing down on me. My body feels like hell. I can't even get out of bed in the morning. I have a pregnant wife at home. I'm holding 2 titles on 2 different continents. I got challengers come from every which way. What do? I know what to do. We're the good guys. So tonight, I'm going to walk to the ring. I'm going to sign that contract without any hesitation. I'm going to look into Kenny Omega's eye. I'm going to shake his hand and let him know, in no uncertain terms, I am the best wrestler in the world. I am the AEW World Champion. I am my dad's son. And I am John damn Moxley. And that is never gonna change.
Back here at WrestleCast, RVT Entertainment, Podbag.com, Spotify, YouTube, live on Twitch, Matty, T-Dub, and Shintigercurl. It is the best and worst of 2020. We're at the best portion of the festivities. What's up?
Hey, now we get to mark out.
We get to share our marking now. We're going to start at the bottom and build ourselves up here as Shin. And you said elected the order, so we will go the same order. And it begins with our other categories throughout the bottom of the page, and this is where we get to pay tribute to Brody Lee a little bit. At least on my list. Most underrated, Shin, kick us off.
And this is going to go to AEW's, because there are so many underrated people on AEW's roster. Everyone, it's just so many diamonds in the rough. But for me, probably the most overlooked tag team in all of AEW is Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. They are, oh my God, they are so good. Stu Grayson is a nice powerhouse. Evil Uno is just a masterful heel when he's in the ring. They just form a great tandem that I believe will become AEW champions sooner than later. And I just love their finishing move, the fatality. I love them as the Super Smash Bros. But
imagine seeing that son of a bitch live like I have many times. Thing of beauty.
I love them as the Super Smash Brothers back in ROH, and I love them still as the forefronters of the Dark Order. There's that.
T-Dub.
It's a tag team that got broken up in 2020, and that is the Iconics.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have been broken up, because what did they do after they broke them up? Put them with different tags.
Sweet fuck out. They broke them up to break them up. Oh, teed up one more for the road. Why not? Iconic! Did you do the pose?
Marble?
Damn right you did the pose. I did the pose. Shin, did you do the pose?
I am not a fan of the Iconics.
Nah, to each his own. For me, Mr. Brody Lee, and it obviously that came to light with his passing, but think about it. In what was like less than a year, shows up, has a memorable debut, takes what was at the beginning of the year a very floundering and failing faction in the Dark Order, and do not try to correct me on this, boys. You know I'm right. They were failing at the beginning of the year. They were flopping hard.
Yeah.
Takes it. One of the best heel factions in the world. A. B. One of the most. B. An underrated segment on BTE. Here's that word again. And at the end of the year, one of the most over factions in wrestling. And that's because of Mr. Brody Lee, who happens to be who happened to have been the TNT champion during some of that bit. And then you hear the stories of what he's done with all the other guys. He is underrated when it comes to some of the stuff he's done. And we'll probably transition into a most improved, but I will begin, as always, with Shin.
Most improved. I had him as one of my heels of the year last year. I said that his only weakness was his in-ring work, and this year he has vastly improved. MJF. Right. His match with Jungle Boy at Double or Nothing, a thing of fucking beauty. It just showed him that he wasn't just a mouth, he wasn't just a gimmick. The guy can wrestle, and the fact that he went a absolute barn burner of a match with fucking Jungle Boy Jack Perry. That just goes to show that people are still sleeping on him. But
hell, his match against John Moxley. I mean, forget the fact that All Out was just a all out flop, but at the same time, that match put that match as it is in any other portion of the card or even on Dynamite. It's a banger.
Yep. Give him a little bit more seasoning, just a little bit more seasoning, and he's gonna be the future of this company. He will be carrying AEW on his back. Well, on Wardlow's back because he doesn't do
because he's a heel. D-Dub.
For me, it is the Dark Order. This time last year, barely anybody aside from me was a fan of them. However, at this point, now, as you point out, they're the most over faction in AEW.
I just explained it while talking about the most underrated. You and I were probably the only ones who have joined Dark Order. By the end of the year, we're part of the welcoming committee to new people coming in. You know what I mean? That's how much of a turnaround they've had, and this is going to parlay into the former Super Smash Bros. into tag team success. John Silver is going to be someone to watch in 2020, just in general, heel or face, no, it doesn't matter. And Anna Jay coming along just fine after her rookie year. So lots of good stuff to watch. They have improved tremendously. And I said 2020. I said, the damn year is one day old, folks. Shut up. 2021.
No, it didn't.
What?
2020 did not win.
Dave! Fucking verbal puns. Yeah, but Dark Order, most improved wrestling show. I sense a sweep. Just saying.
Karma, I got to call you back in here. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to sleep, but we got another sweep.
Mm-hmm.
AEW Dynamite. Just they're getting better and better as time goes on. They're finding their footing. It's still not a perfect show, but considering everything else, all the other major wrestling shows of the week, they are miles ahead of everyone else. Just to show you just how good Dynamite is, they have been consistently beating NXT down in the ratings on a weekly basis. Like NXT beat them like one or two.
It's not just in the overall ratings, the demos. It's just been the 18 to 54, the 18 to 34, whatever the demo is. That demo sweep the entire year.
and they know how to book their programming, save for the women. But yeah, they take the 2 hours and they go with it, and they just keep going and going. I can't gush enough about Dynamite. I'm glad Dynamite exists. Dynamite got me through this shitty year, and I can't wait to see how more they're going to improve coming this year.
D-Dub?
Monday Night Raw.
Get out.
It is Dynamite. It's Dynamite.
Thank you. Dynamite for sure. It's a sweep. I mean, if there were any doubts that AEW Dynamite was show of the year, was television show of the year, they were squashed with last Wednesday's show. With the tribute show to Brody Lee.
And the fact that Tony Khan did that in 2 days, 2 days notice with zero sleep was amazing.
I mean, he had a little bit of help with -1, of course, with the main event, but hey, that was a tough couple of days. He had to grieve someone. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yes, he's a promoter. Yes, he's a billionaire, but Brody Lee was liked by everybody. So that was a tough thing to book.
You could tell, I'm not sure if you guys saw the unaired clip that they just put up on AEW's YouTube channel, but there's a final few minutes after the show goes off the air where he just absolutely loses it. When he hugs Brody Jr., they just all lose it.
He cries.
Yeah.
He breaks down.
And even -1 starts breaking down at the end there when he hugs his mother, and it's a really tough segment to watch. And just goddamn, that was just one of the most beautiful shows I've ever seen. And like many people have said, let's never have to do that ever again.
Yeah, I tweeted about it. Shows like this, nights like this are suck like hell, but it's why we love this business. The love.
And the fact that it truly does feel like a wrestling community.
Yeah. And I'm happy to be just a small part of it. Television announcer, boys.
3-way tie for this one.
Ooh.
Excalibur, Jericho, and Schiavone. Just some great stuff from all three of these guys. When Jericho is on commentary, I just smile from ear to ear because he's going to say something incredibly stupid or funny, and I'm just going to laugh. Excalibur is great at just being the play-by-play guy, and what more can be said about Schiavone? He has been doing this for this caused him to come back, and it feels like he never lost a step. And especially those quarantine shows with Jericho and Schiavone.
They buried that show during the Atlanta GA tapings.
Yeah, and an honorable mention to Rocky Romero.
For the Talking Shop of Mania spots.
That and the New Japan stuff where he always names all the ring pads that Toriano takes off.
Yeah.
There goes Susan.
No.
And also not honorable mention to Chris Charlton for his unabashed lust for Tai Chi when he pulls off those pants.
Uh-oh. Did we lose out? Did we lose connection? Hold on. Stop. We're dropping a few frames here.